Thank you so much, sir. That social responsibility of in the research, I think he's still percolating it into us in our research as well, and he always makes it a point that our research should always benefit the society and should not be something just for the sake of a publication. So I think it's one of the great things that we admire about him and which makes him a great supervisor, a guide to us. However, okay, moving on. I would now like to invite Professor Moholkar. Professor Moholkar was one of the first students of Professor Pandit. He is now working in IIT Guwahati as the head of Center for Energy Group. So I think he would have a lot of memories also. So.
Well, I feel very fortunate to stand here and talk to you on the 60th birthday of my teacher. As he has said, I was one of his earliest students. Like, I had my first interaction with Professor Pandit in the class of mass transfer in third year of my BKMH. Actually, myself and Dr. Ashwin Patwardhan are batchmates, 1993 BKMH batch. So I was attracted by his very lucid and very nice way of explaining most difficult concepts in mass transfer. I know how he explained the concept of boundary layer, which was so difficult to understand. And thereafter, I also consulted him for, whenever I have doubts in any other subjects. Then I taught us unit operations, and in MKMJ also he taught us several subjects. And I was so attracted by his teaching style that I decided to pursue my research career with him. In 1993, I joined him as a research assistant, and later on 1994, I registered for my MKMJ. I was one of his earliest students to work on hydrodynamic cavitation. At that time, we were a very small group. We had a very small laboratory in the OFW building, second floor. Myself, and Dr. Irfan Shirgaonkar and Dr. Manjushri Chivte, we were the three students working on applications of cavitation for chemical processes. We had early setback of untimely demise of Dr. Chivte in accident, but thereafter many new students joined us, like Shiva Kumar, and later on Thampi, Jagdish Thampi, and many others, and then we never looked back. Okay? I remember the day when my first program, Fortran program on hydrodynamic cavitation worked, and then there we could show that hydrodynamic cavitation can give same effect as ultrasound cavitation under certain conditions. And then with that idea, Shiva Kumar has built the first hydrodynamic cavitation setup. Earlier also there was one setup in Advanced Center on which Manjushri worked on polymerization. But that real development of experimental facilities was done by Shiv Kumar, and then the group never looked back. Thereafter many new brains joined, but most important factor with Pandit sir is that he had very brilliant ideas. Okay? My teacher in 20, I did my PhD with Professor Prosperity, a very renowned name in bubble dynamics, and once he said that good research works on good ideas and not necessarily good equipment, and that exactly applies for Professor Pandit. He had so good ideas, and those he could transform in reality, and now hydrodynamic cavitation hasn't remained in laboratory, it has found place in the industry. In addition, he also undertook several other research activities like application of solar energy for day-to-day purposes like cooker and drying and this thing. Recently, he gave a very inspiring lecture on his findings in ChemCon 2015 in IIT Guwahati, and that was appreciated by wide audience. So that is how it is. Like, he is not only an outstanding teacher but outstanding researcher with very brilliant ideas, and also the students have been benefited by this. Like, he also had very good students who carried forward this torch, and now it's a big, I would say cavitation is a big empire. There is a special journal now, Ultrasound Sonochemistry, of which he is an editor. Well, I believe that this will go ahead with more and more contributions, and I wish him all the best and very long life and even productive research career. Thank you.